Hello, welcome back to Epic. Today's lecture actually was present in a climate change course offered by the University of Melbourne. Now, that course doesn't exist anymore. It was taken down many years ago. I don't know the reason why, but this particular lecture I thought was very effective, and so I thought I would kind of do my own spin on it. So let's see how it goes. Today, I will play devil's advocate and present the steps I would take to disrupt and prevent climate action. So let's pretend I'm someone like Dick Bastardly. I'm a very rich, heavy polluter with a great deal of power in the world. I'm opposed to climate change action and I would love to keep cashing in on short term profits. What can I do to preserve my lucrative flow of cash? Well, I would consider doing five things, either separately, but preferably all at the same time. First of all, I would make sure that the problem is described as uncertain and that maybe action is not necessary. The average person could then say, it's too big of a problem, it's a hard one, maybe it's not even a real problem, so then I don't have to do anything about it. I would definitely keep injecting the uncertainty by investing in groups and supporting people on social media who attack the science continuously and create doubt in the eyes of the public and the policymakers. Secondly, I would make sure to keep it an environmental problem. It's a problem for fluffy things in places I don't really care about. I would reiterate that it's a problem for some poor people who don't have much power in world affairs anyway. So that even if people in developed countries think of climate change as a social problem, it's not their problem. It's not a problem for their society. It's a problem for poor people somewhere far away that they generally don't have to think about, don't have to face. And so that in the end, climate action is framed as only solving global poverty, which is typically not very effective. I will keep reminding everyone that the solutions to climate change are very expensive and that the costs disproportionately fall on rich people living in the world's wealthiest nations. In that case, the problem would be that rich people would be incurring costs to tackle a distant issue, save animal species or people they don't particularly care about. And I'd make sure to keep the media focused on buzzwords like jobs and growth to keep scaring the general public so that the impending threats of economic downturns keep people in line and always outweigh the threats posed by climate change. Ideally, I would keep the general public fixated on a day to day routine by giving them never ending distractions, say sports, computer games, apps, reality TV shows, movies, and whatnot. So that people are constantly doing something other than thinking and worrying about climate change. While I may not have much of an input over the nature of these distractions, I would certainly be very grateful to the entertainment industry for doing part of my job for me. I would tell the public that the best way for climate action is through an international treaty where all nations must unanimously agree that something needs to be done. So just try to think about all the treaties in the past that didn't come to fruition because just one country vetoed them. Also, I would ensure that the climate panel doesn't meet very often, that it's run by lawyers and even better lobbyists, and that poor developing countries don't have much say, etc. Finally, I would just sit back and wait. This allows the consumer and every company that produces greenhouse gas emissions to essentially do nothing because it's uncertain. If it is real, then it affects poor people somewhere over there. It's expensive to solve a problem that isn't our problem in developed nations, and it might not even exist in the first place. Anyway, let's wait until a unanimous international agreement, and until then, we can spew as much pollution as we want. So, you see, in the end, we all end up waiting for someone to tell us what to do, and it's just never going to happen. In the final lecture, I will talk about what we can do to tackle climate change.